Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. When we were on our vacation here to Michigan's Upper Peninsula, I had a chance to stop into Rapid River Knifeworks, and I bought a knife, and I'm going to do a little bit of a review on it here for you guys. And this particular knife that I purchased, the style of this particular knife is called a bird and trout knife. And this particular model here, they actually called a fin and feather. And I want to talk a little bit here before I get into the actual review. I want to talk a little bit about the history of bird and trout knives, especially around here where we live. A bird and trout knife is typically a smaller knife. I'd say about a 3-inch blade is about the normal, but sometimes they're even smaller. The blades are thinner, and they're usually shaped more like a fillet knife blade, and they're very small. They're very reminiscent of what a paring knife would be that you would use in a kitchen, but then they'll either be a folder or they'll have a sheath with it, and they will typically be used with some type of chopping instrument too. So either you'd have another larger knife to go with this, or you'd have like a hatchet. And these knives were extremely popular around here. When I was a kid growing up, I seen a lot of the old timers have some version of these bird and trout knives because, of course, we're on the Great Lakes here. So pretty much everybody fished. There was a lot of waterfowl. I've seen a lot of ducks breasted out with a bird and trout knife. And they've kind of fallen out of favor in the last 20 years or so. I haven't seen a lot of like new offerings of bird and trout knives. I know like Case Knives and a couple other companies will put bird and trout knives out, but people stop buying them. When you do searches for knives, stuff like bushcraft and survival and camp knife, these things are more prevalent than a bird and trout knife. But this is the guy that I bought here. And I bought it, with my own money just because I wanted one. So this isn't any type of, how do you want to say it? Nobody influenced me in this particular review because I wanted one of these for my knife collection, I guess. And it's got a nice leather sheath on it, just like the other Rapid River knife that I got. But this one's got a snap on it, which I kind of like. Gives it that added piece of security. And then this is what they look like. And I've got a couple other little bird and trout style knives here I'm going to show with you guys to give you a little bit more of a kind of a comparison as well. But it's the handle is Cocobolo, which is a sort of an exotic wood, and then there's a antler spacer on here, and then it's got the brass finger guard. But that makes it really controllable and nice to make those fine cuts, like when you're skinning a squirrel, or you're using this to field dress an animal, take the breast out of a game bird. That is what you want. You want that kind of positive control. And the other one that I have here that's close to that, I have a SECR 2.5. You can see there they're very similar, but the handle on this guy the grip isn't quite as positive as what it is on this one. I mean, this one has got a really nice controllable grip, which I like. And these little pull tabs that you put on the end here, it aids in removing the knives from the sheaths. When you can kind of like hit your snap, then you can just grab this to pull your knife out. And that's why I like a lanyard loop on these knives, these small knives like this. They're just easier to get in and out of the sheath. And it was probably my biggest complaint with my original Rapid River knife here, my Modern Refugee knife. This one doesn't have that lanyard loop on there, and I like that. And this guy is razor sharp. It's D2 tool steel is what they make their knives out of up there, because I asked them that at one point in time. And they hold an edge really good. And one nice thing about if you buy one of those Rapid River knives and you're here in Michigan and you're back up there, you take their knives in there, they'll sharpen them and polish them up for you. And I actually have taken my other knife back in there so they could do that for me. But these bird and trout knives were really popular, for cleaning fish. Pheasants were a huge thing when I was a kid around here. Pheasant hunting and stuff. A lot of pheasants were field dressed with knives that were this style. And because that blade is thin and relatively sharp, it was good for not only field dressing small game like squirrels, taking the breasts out of pheasants, ducks, and that kind of stuff. Another thing that these got used for was making wood shavings for the wood stove. They would scrape a little bit of wood shavings together to start their wood stove. And kind of a more modern thing here is being able to strike a ferro rod too. Most knives have the ability to do that nowadays, but sometimes knife manufacturers, they'll round off that edge too much, and then you won't be able to do it. Now, this edge here isn't what I would call a razor sharp 90-degree spine on it, but it's still is perfectly capable of striking a ferro rod, which makes this, combined with like a hatchet, like my main hatchet here that I carry around. You carry a hatchet, you carry a bird and trout knife like this, and you carry yourself a ferro rod. You got yourself a pretty decent group of tools to do stuff out in the bush if you need to. You can field dress an animal, even if you would happen to be hunting and you shoot a large piece of you shoot a larger game animal like a deer or something. If you have the hatchet, to split the pelvis, and you have this guy here to do the skinning and take the insides out, and then you got a ferro rod with you, so you can start a little bit of a fire to warm your hands after you field dress or clean up an animal. You got a pretty decent group of tools there to get a lot of different tasks done when you're out and about. But I like supporting businesses here in Michigan, and I wanted to kind of give Rapid River Knifeworks a shout out. They always sharpen my knives for me when I go up there. Their brand, like I said, if you have their knives, they'll sharpen their knives for free for you, which I think is really cool. This is the box here that it came in. They're not overly cheap. I paid $130 here for this knife, which for the quality and the fit and the finish and everything that's on it, I think is probably pretty decent. I mean, you're going to have anywhere between $60 and $100 on any knife that's any good anymore. Anyway, I know there are cheaper versions out there, but I've had better luck, I guess, with better quality knives. But I'm going to give you guys one more last look here at this guy here. This is the Fin and Feather by Rapid River Knifeworks. Like I said, I bought this knife with my own money, so I didn't take anything from these guys. I just wanted to give them a shout out because I enjoy their knives and I enjoy supporting the businesses here in my state. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video here. Just talking about bird and trout knives and the latest addition to my collection. But anyway, you guys have a good one.